Furry, the little penguins that could, written by Ann Yurchek and illustrated by Jody Culp. Chapter 27, Kindergarten Circus Graduation. For over 50 years, in the little school that could, in the little town that would, the ending of kindergarten was celebrated with a grand circus. It is a big production, and the high school auditorium is turned into a gigantic circus tent. For many days we practiced, and on one day, all the kindergartners rode the big yellow bus to the high school for rehearsal. Rehearsal means practice for the big production. Going to the high school was exciting for the littles. Practice helps you do things you think are impossible. Mac and the children practiced and practiced. They memorized big, long speaking parts. They learned tricks. They learned dances and songs. Putting on the kindergarten circus was hard work, but it was so much fun with all the costumes and makeup. All the kindergarten teachers and their helpers and the children worked together to put on the magnificent performance. The littles practiced many hours at home with their families. They practiced even more hours at school with their friends. It was a big job to learn all that was needed to be learned. Even little kids can do big things. Finally, after so much hard work, the big top day arrived. Everyone was invited, including the mommies and daddies, sisters and brothers, grandmas and grandpas, aunts and uncles, and all of the children's families and friends. And that was almost everybody in the little town that would. The children spoke their memorized parts. Some children dressed as elephants and did tricks. There were ringmasters and acrobats, poodles and dog trainers, ponies and horse trainers. There were wild animals and courageous trainers. Not the stuffy kinds of animals, just saying. All the kindergarten littles were dressed in costumes of all sorts, being whatever they chose to be. There were clowns and all kinds of performers. There were so many different ones that I cannot even remember to name them all. Sorry if I left anybody out. Everyone had their parts, including Mac and me. They made sure everyone was included, including a little furry penguin. I, Furry the penguin, was in the circus. I, however, was the only penguin with a real part. Mac's mom sent for a clown costume for Mac from the big brown truck and sewed me a little clown costume to match. The clowns did what clowns do best, entertain the audience. Have you ever heard of a penguin who wore a clown suit? And of course, we wore our red shoes. Everyone, no matter their challenge, had their own part. Mac's helper helped him stay put to make sure that we were where we were supposed to be. There was no rolly chair that day for Mac. Riley, in her wheelchair, and her helper had their own part and props. No one was left out. It was a day to be remembered for all the littles. The children dressed as lions jumped through hoops. The poodle children rode their tricycles while the dog trainer directed. The acrobats did their tricks on the tightrope. There were frog races, pony prancing, baton twirlers, and dancers. The strongmen lifted heavy record-breaking weights. The weights were really just balloons. The little gray elephants sat carefully on their blocks. Everyone did their very best, and at the end of the performance, we heard a standing ovation. That means they clapped, and they clapped, and they clapped again. All of us, almost first graders, beamed with pride. Together, we did it.